All right. Hello, everybody. We're going to give it a minute to let people join because we are starting here right on the hour, but we will give everyone a moment. I want to say thank you for joining us. Always exciting to have people here. I see some names that I recognize, which always makes me happy. And I see names I don't recognize, which I also love because that means that our community is growing. So if you are joining us for the first time, my name is Whitney. I am the community manager of She Builds at Lovable. And we host at least one webinar a month under the She Builds program, with the goal being just to share knowledge, to get anyone and everyone building and uh, unleashing the incredible potential that they have within them. And so we'll get started here in a moment. I see a couple more people popping in. We're live streaming on YouTube as well. And as we go through the webinar, there will be opportunities to ask questions. We ask that you use the Q&A feature. You are also invited to participate in the chat. So we always love hearing where you're coming and joining us from. We get guests and attendees from all over the world, which just, again, is one of the best things. Before we get started and I hand it over to Nabila, let me just remind everyone that we are a few weeks away from International Women's Day, and She Builds It Unlovable is going to be doing a pretty fun global experience, is what I'm calling it, a global experience. We're going to have events around the world for people to attend in person. We're going to have online engagement opportunities. And it's just going to be something where we really get everyone off in building. So I dropped the link to She Builds in the chat. Feel free to check it out after the webinar because, of course, we want to give our full attention to Nabila. So, without further ado, I will say a big welcome to Nabila, who is joining us. Nabila participated in season one of She Builds and has returned as a speaker for us. I think this is your second time now. You presented prior to season two of She Builds, which everyone absolutely loved what your webinar. So I was excited when I saw your name come up again because I knew everyone would enjoy it. And so here we go. We're going to talk about the superpower of product thinking. And I have to say, one of my big flexes is that I got to meet Nabila in person back in December. And let me just say, getting to meet one of our community members is the coolest thing. And so just really excited to have you here again. Thank you so much for, sharing your time, your knowledge, and being one of our amazing community members.
Thank you so much, Whitney, and it's a pleasure to be here. And I felt that I was so lucky to meet you in person in Stockholm. And like when you messaged, I was like, oh my God, I gotta meet Whitney now. So it was such a pleasure for me. And hello everyone. Welcome to the webinar. And I will also introduce myself a bit. So I am Nabila, and I have been a participant, like the first She Builds participant. And after that, I have also participated in another hackathon that was hosted by Lovable and Anthropic. It was held in at Slush in Finland. So I'm lucky to be selected in both the hackathons, and after that, I have been I think active with the Lovable community, and I so love this community. And I have also hosted another, yeah, a micro webinar before the second season of She Builds. And a little bit about myself now. So my background is in product management. I worked as like for 5, 6 years as a product owner, and then also in design and research. This happened when I came to, I'm from Bangladesh, and I came into design and research when I came to Sweden after doing a master's in human computer interaction. So, a bit about myself, and this is a very exciting webinar for me because this is what I have been feeling for a long time, like how these roles are merged and how we can leverage this now, today, at this age of AI. So, Lovable is the engine where we can work and get things done. But there are some things that you also need to done before you actually get the thing executed. What is that? That is product thinking. So I recently joined another event that was held in Stockholm called the Tech Arena, and Lovable's the design head, Felix, was there. And the last thing that he said, or the most important thing now to know, is are two things, like the design thinking process and the product thinking process, because Lovable is handling everything else. So let's see what is that product thinking mindset. So I would say this mindset is like the blueprint that you need to build a house. Lovable is taking care of building the house, but the blueprint is for us. Now, what is vibe coding? Like when we talk about vibe coding. So I also have a background in computer science and like a bachelor's. So back in those days, it was like C, C++, Java, and then came the language like Python, more related to like the natural language, like as we speak, more close to natural language. And now the at this age, like when you are like vibe coding things, everything is like plain text, plain English. You don't need a very tech heavy background to build things, or know, like have a background in specifically in design, product, or anything. Anyone anyone can just get started. Yes, it's an advantage if you have a background in any of these specific areas, of course, but you can also get started if you are not really there, because this tool makes it really easy for you because it is plain English. But in order to do so, how do you go deep into it? That is like product thinking, because you have a product. In the end, you are trying to build a product that is in the digital space, and how to deal with it, what to do and what not to do, and is this the right product that you are building, is the product thinking mindset. So now product thinking is like everyone's business. I have been thinking for the past few months or a year, like how these areas are so blurred, these industries, because when you are building, you also need a bit of everything that we are talking about, like the design sense and like how you are marketing this, or the how you are like the product thinking mindset and everything. You need a bit of everything. So everything here is important, and but I think the best is like for the entrepreneurs or the founders, because they can leverage it more. Because when you want to see something from end to end, like from the beginning till the end, I think this is the best time that you can have, because you can use the tool and see the product yourself. So uh, for example, when I was thinking of doing something from my own master's thesis research, I was thinking, okay, so if I want to really come up with this thing, I would need a designer, a developer, and this thing, at least one, to make something solid. But now you do not really need this, because, and I was also thinking that, okay, if I invest in these things now, first of all, how do I get the money to hire someone? No one will do it for free. Okay, then if I start on doing this, I do not know if this is the right thing or not. So how do I proceed? What is the, like, what is the end thing? Because I do not know the final thing. But now you can see the whole thing end to end. If you have a idea, you keep on building, and when you see the final product happening, you know if this is the right tool for you or not. So for entrepreneurs and founders, I would say it can give you the final end-to-end thing. For designers, I would say this is an advantage, because I have been hearing this thing a lot, or reading up, or when I join events or meetups, I see designers say like, we don't have a seat on the table because we don't have a say. I think be an advantage for them because you are not just having something static, you are having something living, something moving, and you can show the final outcome. So this is of course a great advantage. I think Lovable, sometimes you can also feel that it is not for you because uh, it is already doing the job for you. But then if you can take advantage of it, you can build something great that others cannot build because you have the design sense, the eye for it, the judgment, what to build and what not to build, and what is good and what is not good. For example, it can give you some like the typography, the copywriting, and everything. You can actually make a difference what others cannot do. And for product managers, I think it is the best tool for the product managers also because you have an idea. For them, what is it? It's the clarity. So you want to build this, you have to go to other people like the designers and the developers. Build this for me. Can you make this thing for me? Or convince others. But now you don't need the permission. You have the idea, you make this on your own. You know if it works or if it does not work. You have more say, like will it work? Is it feasible or it's not feasible? For marketing also, I think it works for everyone. It's a leverage for like everyone. And as I said, if you are not a designer or a product manager, doesn't matter. You have the tool, you have an idea, start building and see. So you learn through the process. It's not something you have to know it beforehand. But lovable in the engine, as I said earlier, also, but you are the navigator. So the danger zone is it will make you anything that you give it. Like you have an instruction, can you build this for me? It will make you a beautiful thing. But is it the one that you really need? I would say if you are just starting, just getting started right now and you do not have any prior knowledge about it, I would say do some experiments. Just keep building. You don't need a blueprint, you don't need anything. Try doing it and see. Like what I do is I do experiments. Like I have, for one thing, I start with two, three different things. Like I start one project, I just finish it. I start another one and I see like what is the difference. So you can try, I mean, do and learn through the process. But if you are like actually building something, like you think you are not just experimenting or just playing around it, you are actually in the mindset of building something that is, usable for people. The most important thing here will be to know, to have the product thinking and to know why do you need this. You need to go back to your users. So I am building this, but for what? Who are my users? So think about those things. Who are my users? Is it really necessary? If I don't build this, what will happen? Will anything change? And what are the users pain points? So figure those things out. So if it is needed or not, that is the most important question, the why behind what we are building. Because when you give it to Lovable or any AI tool, it will build you that thing. But knowing why is the most important thing. So Lovable handles the execution and you handle the judgment. So leverage the platform to focus on the value risk. So you handle the judgment is like you thinking prior to building it, like the blueprint. So in this case, what you can do is you can do the market research, you can talk to users, you can figure out the problem, if the problem exists, if the problem real or not. And the product mindset is also that you uncover things what doesn't seem very obvious. It's not that the problems will be like very obvious for you, but you figuring out things is also part of the journey. And building product without product thinking is like high speed movement in the wrong direction. Because as I said, the tool will build you anything. And like if you give the instruction like build me this, but what do you do after building it? It is like you are wasting your credits and your time. So if you are mindful of it, have the blueprint before. But if you want to experiment and learn and what happens and what's good and what's bad, trying two different things, go ahead and do it. No problem. I do the same thing just to see what works and what does not work. as I was talking about the product sense, so learn about the users, what your users need. And if I talk about like the PRD, product requirement document, like it long time back when I used to work, I also used to work as like a business analyst. I used to like the product requirement documents and the business requirement documents. So it used to be like, those thick documents like this file or 50 pages or more with all the descriptions written. It was like the blueprint. We used to think about every small things. Okay, the user need this, you go and type this field will be this much long. So all the technical details and what the user needs, everything used to be there in that document. So you give that document to the developer, you take those requirements from the customers, and then the developer knows. So you talk with them and you make them understand and everything. All these processes are like, those things doesn't really exist now, because you give those instructions to these tools and they will make it for you. But you do not need that 50-page PRD per se, but you need that guideline, because without that guideline, I think if you are like if you really want to come up with a final product of polished product that works, it could also break at some point. So if you have the guidelines beforehand, it makes things very easy. You have everything, like the user need this, what are the risks, what will be the next step, and everything. So that is the product requirement document that you feed. Not in this sense, like if you have the product sense, like what you actually require, you upload everything, you talk to the AI tool. But Lovable now have this plan mode, so you can really have a conversation with Lovable and come up with a plan. So you say, I want to do this, I want to do that. So it will give you a detailed plan and then you execute it. So, how are we also leveraging this tool, this AI tool and Lovable? It's like when you are actually building it, you have the final product at hand. It doesn't like takes you months or anything or year to make things. You can just make the whole thing, right? So you see if it is feasible or not. You can just test it. You can you can see what is the North Star. Like you can see if it works for you users or not. You can validate your assumptions. So when you have the final product, because before it was a long journey, like the whole software development life cycle takes a long time, because you plan, you take the requirements, you go to the designer are making the mock-ups, then the development, and then testing everything. The whole thing takes time, but now it just takes days. But if you have the plan ahead and everything figured it out, if you give it to Lovable, it will execute it well. But at the same time, when you have the plan mode, you can just talk, you can have a conversation with Lovable, and you can actually figure things out much faster. And like when I started doing working on Lovable, I used to do the planning in ChatGPT, working with ChatGPT and getting the whole plan, and then I used to give that thing to Lovable, and like you execute it. But then at one point, when one day I was in such a rush, and I think before hackathon or something, I don't remember. So I gave the my own instructions. Like I didn't use ChatGPT. I just gave direct instructions to Lovable, and I figured like it works better this way. So, and then I later learned that Lovable can also understand emotions, like how you are dealing with it. I want to know this, the user needs this, the emotions related to it. So if you can give the full context to Lovable, it can work better and faster. And now when you have the plan mode, you can do everything in the same tool actually. As I was saying, the Lovable, it's not only a tool, it has a backend. You can just like, it can integrate things quite faster. It literally needs seconds to have the whole thing planned. If you give the whole context to it, it will generate you a very good thing. But the whole context, when I'm talking like the product thinking and giving the whole context to this, is all about you figuring things out, what works and what does not work, and going back to your user, going back to your user, going back to your user. Nothing is more important than your user, and figuring out why do you actually need it, and if you even need it or not. Doing the user research first. Talking a bit about user research, it can be a qualitative research, a quantitative research. Sometimes it's like you do not know if what it actually means, so you go and talk to user, like doing an interview. That works. Sometimes you want to see patterns, so do a quantitative one. So you have for example, Microsoft like Clarity or Google Analytics, or with any of these tools, you can just see patterns in any system, and then you can try to figure out that, okay, this is the pattern, I want to dig deep into it. So you can have more questions and then go for like a detailed interview with your users. So this can be a way. So doing qualitative and quantitative research, like the user research, you can actually figure out the whys, and before even going and building it, because the planning mode is like 80% of your work, and the actually execution is like 20%. And why these tools are like making it easier, as I said, the execution part used to take a long time. Like you go to each department, they are like you have a dependency, but now you don't have any dependency. It's up to you. Do it, you dream it, you do it. When I was like doing the she builds competition, it was like we were like everyone was saying like, now you do not need the permission. You don't need a permission, you just go, you dream it, you build it. So it's that flexible. um we can have a like a little vibe challenge here now. Like if you are like all up for it, just look at your phone and see any app, like what feels off for you, like what frustrates you, and just come up with a one line solution, and just write it in your comment section. Like what do you think should be fixed and how you should fix it, like anything. If you cannot think of anything, just write I can't think of anything. That also do, but that is one step. You are taking one action, you are taking towards it. Let's do it. We can take few minutes for it. Just think about anything, like look at any of the apps, what frustrates you, and then be very specific about the problem. Not like okay, it it's very it's very bad, it's frustrating. No, not that. Maybe you can say it takes 5 steps to go for this one thing, so that frustrates me. So be very specific about the problem. For example, for me, I would give the LinkedIn example. So the LinkedIn inbox, where you see like when I look at the screen from my desktop, it is like so frustrating for me, because the actual screen size is like this much. I usually get messages where I need to scroll up, and especially if I try to find things from a previous chat, I need to scroll a lot, because this screen size is like this, and then you have the other things here. So the whole screen is like taken up by other things, but the small window where I actually need to find thing is like this much. I wish I could just make it more bigger, but that's not possible. So that is the frustration for me. So you can just come up with anything. So write one sentence, and how would you vibe a better version into existence using Lovable? Just anything. Are we having any comments?
Yes, Nabila. So we have one in the Q&A section from an anonymous attendee for entrepreneurs and founders, especially solopreneurs. Can you zero in on the point where we'd have to move from the Lovable prototype to an actual scalable working app, what is the handoff part?
Like, do we need to move from this to actual building, like actual development?
Correct. I believe the question is kind of like at what point do you reach the need to have to kind of move it into something else? What's the handoff part?
Yeah, okay. So when I think you know that you have figured things out and you need to scale it much bigger, I think at that point you can just shift into like real development. But with Lovable, I think a medium scale, up to a medium scale product, I think it can handle it well. You can have it, you can test it, and you can distribute it. You can have some clients already in this. Like, when you try to scale it real big, I think at that point you go and move into real development. Otherwise, so far Lovable can handle it really well. Okay, so I will move on to the next slide. So yeah, so I would say at this point, for everyone, it is like stop guessing and start vibing and start measuring, because you have the blueprint, you start building, and then when you have this thing ready, you start measuring it. You see how users find your product, you see how they see if it is like, do they find it like, find the aha moment or not, like, okay, is it really lovable or not, do they find it really great or not. So the acquisition, activation, retention, and like, are they coming back or not, are they loving it enough or not. So the, like, the love proof. So okay, at the first time they liked it, but are they coming back to it or not. And then what is the business model, and are they loving it enough that they're referring it to other people also. So you can figure these things out when you have the product at hand and like ready to distribute. So this is like, uh, you are thinking it and you are making it at the same speed. You do not need permission for any department, or there is no backlog, nothing. It just breaks everything. You think and you do it. As long as you have the product thinking mindset, you figure things out, and you have the whole context given to the tool, you have it all set. uh, of course you can do it in other tools, I believe, but I would say I use Lovable, and Lovable is like, you think of something, yeah, on Monday, perhaps it's missing, you will get it on Friday. They are that fast. So I would say use it, like, you take this advantage, because it is not like, you are thinking of something, you, if you feel something is missing, it is continuously improving and continuously adding things up. Like when I was in the hackathon at Slash, I saw Anton was like going to everyone and asking like, what do we need to build? What do we need to fix? What is it that is like bothering you? So they are like continuously taking feedback and getting it, making it better and better and better. So I would say like take this advantage, and Lovable is actually making it very easier also, because I wouldn't name other platforms, but as far as I know, I think it is also for the explorers. Like, you don't need to like know it enough to go and build it. You can explore also with Lovable. So using the product to get there, I think it's also exploratory. So that also makes it very good to use Lovable at this point. And saying so, I would say like, if you don't have the pro plan yet, you can get it and get a 20% discount if you use my uh, uh, discount link. I think engaging with Lovable, I got this opportunity to share this discount link. You will get it in my recent post, recent LinkedIn post. So it will be in the first comment or in the body section. You can get it. So you can use that to get the 20% discount. And if you are just using the free tire, yeah, fine, use it. But I mean, keep exploring. Don't stop yourself from exploring. But if you are using the free tire, I would say the product mindset is like the tool for you, because you do not have much to do in one end, because you have limitations, right? So I think in that case, have the whole product thinking done before, be super sure, and then go for it. If you want to be a little bit exploratory, you are most welcome. You can also like upgrade. As I said, I also have a link. You can use it and do it, because I think this is the best era. This is the best era to explore and come up with these things. And as I said, for the for everyone, to be honest, because no one knows where we are heading to. No one knows the future. But as long as you understand what we are doing and where we are heading, you are good to go, because no one really knows. People at the top tier, also the leaders, everyone is figuring things out. They are giving their piece of advice, yes, but can anyone be 100% sure? Like, what do we have in the future? No. So the best time is now to work with AI and improve your, like, improve or uh, like from what you have. So it's like mm, leveraging AI. It's not, if you, as everyone is saying, like if you're not using the tool, you will be laid off. If you are, so you better get started. And I think this tool or vibe coding is for everyone. Everyone will learn something or the other. And with the product thinking and everything, I think the most important part is the clarity of your thoughts that you have, and that your judgment, your clarity is the best thing that you can give. And mm, you can also learn through the process when you are building. So you can also think that this is what, like, the tool is using it, I'm not doing anything. But do a mistake and see how it does not work and how things break. Then you will understand like what role you are playing there, because when you have a good prompt, a solid prompt, I think it makes or breaks the thing. So yeah, give it a full context, like what to do, what not to do, all the use cases and everything. Then you are good to go. And when we are building with AI, what we are actually doing, we are like having a clarity of our own thoughts. Because when we start thinking, we cannot be 100% sure about something at the very first moment. So we develop throughout the process. At least for me, it works like this, and I know it works for many other people also. Like when you are thinking, when it is still in your mind, you you are like, okay, you are confused. But when I draw it on a piece of paper, things gets more I mean, things get to uncover, like, okay, I need to work here, I need to work there. So when you are like working with AI and figuring things out, you can just see the finished product at once. That is the best thing that we can have here. So yeah, that is all from me. I would say keep building and explore this this area. This is a very fun thing to do, and it is very addictive also. Very, very addictive. Once you start building, you will feel like, okay, what I will do next. But have your thought process clear, like having the maximum clarity. Having the maximum clarity, go back to your users, and when you are stuck somewhere, you also know that, okay, I do not know this. You also know I don't know. And what tech stack I need to use, what other information I need to use here. So go back and figure those things out and come back. So you also learn through the process. So I think it is a great time to be in, and Lovable is, of course, the superpower here, like that we can leverage for this. So yeah, I think we are. I am uh, done with this. So do we have any questions, or what do you think?
Awesome. Thank you so much, Nabila, for your presentation. This was extremely inspiring. We do have a question here on YouTube. Let me pull it up very quickly. So we have Tariq who's working on a strong app for chefs, which is very interesting. They're asking, can we use the code from GitHub and create it in Google AI Studio onto Lovable?
Sorry, can you come up with the question again?
Yeah, for sure. Let me actually send it or get it over here. Can we use the code from GitHub and create it in, let me move this over here 1 second, sorry, and create it in Google AI Studio onto Lovable?
Okay, I haven't done it yet, so I am not the best person to say this. Sorry.
Okay, no worries at all. Oh, we just got another question over here. Can a
And yeah,
layperson
talking
also
about,
Oh,
sorry,
sorry.
yeah, like when we are like talking about this thing, like if you want to export it and keep the code, you can also like connect it with GitHub and you have the code. So it's not that you are doing and doing and building, you don't know what is happening at the back end. So that is also something that you can get right away, because the code you can also export it at one point. But I would say when you are like exploring things, like for the beginners, uh, sometimes it doesn't work when you like, it can break at one point in the early stage. If it happens, stop it and start another project. That's how you can like save your credits, and you can fix the thing, because sometimes it gets stuck in the loop, like it tries to fix it and fix more things. So in that case, what happens usually is it didn't have enough context beforehand, and that's why it creates this problem. So I think it's better you stop it and you create another one. This works like this. How this is this how it works best.
Thank you so much. We have another one here on YouTube. How would you recommend we plan and gather the right ideas before we execute in Lovable? Any tips?
Yeah, sure. So plan and gather the right idea. Mhm. So idea is something I would say it's for me, it's more personal, because what problem you are solving. Try to come up with a problem first. Ideas are like anyone and everyone has ideas. When I was at Slash, I was talking to a founder. She was telling me everyone has ideas. So how you execute it is the main difference. So think if that idea is the right idea that you want to solve or not. And sometimes I would say what works best is, can you really connect with your idea or not? Because I know there are 10 other problems, but I do not really connect with all the problems that is there out there. So I am not going to solve those problems. It has to be very personal, because when you are in the founder or entrepreneurial mindset, or anyone, I would say, like when you are solving that problem, you have to be passionate enough to solve that problem. If you cannot own that problem, you do not really give, you cannot really go all in to solve that problem. So pick a problem that you feel that is very close to you and you can relate to it. You can resonate with the problem well. That's when you build the connection with the problem, and that's when you dig deep into it, I think. So yeah, that is one thing. And then the next thing can be, when you have, for example, you have three ideas that is very close to you and you would really like to solve that problem, then is it worth solving? Is it worth solving with a digital product? Maybe not every problem is worth solving or not very much executable. Uh, Maybe you cannot make a business case out of it. So figure those things out first. And clarity is the most important thing here. The product thinking is the most important thing here. You can also always explore it with Lovable and other tools as well. But with the planning mode, yes, you can of course chat with it. Okay, I have this idea, write the whole thing. Think and write as much as possible. So the more context you give to the tool, the better the result will be. So give all the details and see what it tells you. So you can use the tool to understand what is coming up, what you really need. Not really you are making it like the full final project or final polished product you are making, no, just for exploration. And then when you know like you are solving this problem for this user, go back to your user, do the research and see is it worth solving the problem or not, and then you pick the right idea for you. And I would say this is not a very easy process actually, because sometimes it feels like we have figured it all out, but not really. Because this is, if it would have been that easy, then like everyone would have been like, a founder. But then figuring this thing out is not easy, and it is an iterative process. Software development or product, and this like the digital product, whatever we are calling every this thing, this is just an iterative process. You cannot just figure this thing out in the first go. If you do it, that's very good. But if you cannot do it, if you cannot make it in the first go, don't think you are a failure or something, because that is the right approach. People usually iterate, they pivot and make something else. You will see the big companies, I cannot name one because I do not remember right now, because but you will see they started with something and then they ended up making something else. So you cannot really tell that this is the right idea in the first go. When you have the thing, when you figure these things out a bit, you think that, okay, I have some clarity. I have talked to the users and I feel good about it. I can solve this problem. I am passionate about it. Fine. Everything ready. Like you need to get your hands dirty and do it. After some time, you will figure it out if this is the right idea or not.
Thank you so much, Nabila. We have a very interesting one here from Roxana. How do you ensure you comply with all the regulatory and security requirements like customer data?
How can I ensure?
Yes.
Security requirement, Lovable has this feature like before you publish, you have to go through this review the like the security thing. You can rely on this thing. I believe they do the security thing first, but if you were talking about like really like the database, the customer data, how it is handling it in the back end, then I think I'm not the right person to like talk about it, because I do not have this idea. Well, I mean, yes, it is important because to handle this thing, like, uh, are you actually mindful of the data that you are taking from your user? It is important, but how the platform is actually using it or dealing with it, then I do not know about this. I think someone from like who is working there is like the right person to talk about this, how they're handling data.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Well, actually, somebody, let me see here. Yulia just recommended having Lovable do a workshop on this. I'll make sure to pass this along to Whitney so we can organize something along those lines because that would be very, very insightful and helpful.
Yeah, in fact, I am also very much curious about this, like how you are handling data, because as I mentioned about my research, and it was one of the vital things that I was also concerned in dealing with, like how are you handling the data and with data privacy and everything. And the one big reason I could not start my get started with my research topic is also because of this data handling and data privacy. So. I would also be very curious in that workshop.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. I'll make sure to pass all of this along. Um, Let me check here. We have another question from an anonymous attendee. Can a layperson also collect simple leads and, for example, send them to their own inbox?
Sorry, who? What person?
Oh, sorry, getting the question up here again. Can a layperson also collect simple leads or, for example, send them to their own inbox?
Simple leads and can send it on inbox.
Yeah, let me get this over here. One second, please. I think this is more of a question for us here. Let me just get this info quickly. Sorry. So to answer that, yes, Lovable is designed so that non-technical users can build simple landing pages, forms and mini sites using AI prompts instead of coding. So you don't really, everything can be stored within Lovable, so you can save it into your own inbox if you wish to, but your Lovable project will always be there for you as long as you have your account.
Hmm.
Let's see here. We have another question. How is Lovable best used when all of my designs are on Figma?
Yeah, you can have those designs, I mean, exported here, and but I think I also got this like you can take those screenshots when you have some specific details. Like I wanted to have it like this way, you can upload it there. You can also have the code associated with it and just paste it here as well. Lovable, I mean, you can just directly have the code there and you can use it, or you can have the screen like the screenshot of it, some specific details if you want to.
Thank you, Nabila. Sorry, I'm just answering some questions in chat that are a
Yeah,
little bit
yeah.
separate. Let me see if we have any other questions here that you can answer. Can you easily integrate a product database, for example, by simply using an Excel file containing product data?
Yeah, you can upload these things and have give it the full context.
Yeah,
You
and
can
I
upload
would
these
also
files.
like to add, Anika, for your question, you can upload the Excel file. We do recommend using or exporting your Excel file as a CSV or comma separated values file, just so that it's, easier for the program to read and make sure that everything gets uploaded nicely. But yes, that's totally doable. Let's see, we have one here from Nafisa. Thanks, Nabila. Just found your discount link for Lovable, but it seems to only redirect it to homepage and no discount. Do you happen to have it handy to share it here?
Yeah, when you get to yeah, it redirects you to the home page, and then when you just complete the whole process, you will get the discount there. Like when you try to purchase it, and then at the end you can get the discount.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Oh, I see Anika sent another message here about the CSV. Perfect. Um, do we have any other questions, or Nabila, is there anything that you would like to add? Checking for questions on YouTube in the meantime quickly.
Um, Yeah, like final thing, what would I say? Yeah, there is also another webinar in YouTube that I did before Shibu season 2. I would say if you are like curious about more like about prompting, like how to make a good product, you can also listen to that. There I have some specific details like how to prompt in Lovable, and uh, like I spoke mainly about the experience, because everything boils down to experience. Like whatever we are doing, we are actually, like, we are after all humans, no matter what the agent is doing. So we are building for the humans. The human experience is the most important thing here. So how you can make better experiences. So I spoke more about that in that webinar. You can find it in YouTube. It was also hosted by Lovable. Um, yeah, the some final things, or if I would like to summarize, I I would say some few lines like recently, I think not recently, like on in December, my son, he was like 7 years old by then. He also built an app, like a gaming app in Lovable. So I would say it is that easy now for everyone to build. But what is the difference? So, is it like that he just started building things? No. I will write a post about it, by the way, in LinkedIn. Keep an eye on it. And like what worked and what not, what did not work. I'm just recently thinking about it, but I can share it here. So, he already had that plan. It's not that he just say that I want to make a game and Lovable just built it. No, it's not like that. What I saw, like he made a whole plan, like how the game will work. It's like a booklet. He drew everything with a pencil on a paper, like he made a booklet out of it, and he just showed it to me, like, see, I made this. This is my whole game. He also drew some things there, like it will go here, the challenge is like this, and that. So that is the plan. The whole plan was given by him. So that's the task that we need to do. So I said, wow, that's great. Do you want to like make it, like see it how it works? Because now we have the advantage. Before, I mean, even like the people working in this in those industries couldn't do it. Like you need to wait for the permission, or for the other departments, like the breaking the silos was a big deal. But now everyone can do it. Like that's what I said to my side to my son. And my daughter was like super proud of her brother. Like, my brother can make an app. That's like, that was like a super interesting thing for her. So what he did, he I used the like the voice chat mode. I'm like, okay, you say it out loud, because he cannot like type everything. He was also having problem reading it, because the instructions that was like there, like should I do this and not, and all these things, that was a bit difficult. I just helped him with those things, like, okay, it is saying, do you want this or not? Tell me. And he just gave the prompts, like by just talking to it. Yeah, that's it. So I think what Lovable made is pretty decent. I would say that I mean, if I would have done it, I would have changed the colors, the typography, everything, and some better things, of course. But whatever it built, it is pretty decent. I mean, you couldn't have even think of it earlier, right? And if you do not know how to design or code, I think this is a great thing, because you have done this much. If you have this much already. So if you are a designer, of course, you can change the typography and the copywriting and everything. You can make something that stands out. But if you are not there, that is okay, because it gives you a good enough and a decent product already. I think that's something great for all of us all of us who is just starting off, who is from a different background, doesn't know anything, because you have something decent. And to learn what you don't know, or to make yourself better, or to stand out, you can have a bit knowledge about the design and the product thinking and all these things, like how to give more context. But you have so much material available, because Lovable is sharing, doing webinars, and you have materials online. You can learn everything. For example, we are like from Lovable, hosted by Lovable. I am sharing these things with you. So there are so many materials out there. We can learn. What Lovable is good at is like making or executing the thing. So, having the clear thought at this age of vibe coding, having a clear picture, clarity, and judgment, nothing beats it. So, if you have that, you are like in the right place. If you think you are still lacking there, read up, know things, try to know things more. You will have that better judgment, and you will be a better builder. So, yeah.
That is
Uh,
so cool that your son is building on Lovable, Nabila. That's so inspiring. Circling back a little bit to your other webinar, everyone, I've sent a link in the chat to a YouTube video, and that's the replay for season two. Um, the webinar that Nabila held, which is AI can make your interfaces, but can it design experiences? And I highly, highly recommend checking it out. It's very insightful. And I'm also sharing a link right now, there we go, for all of our webinars. So that's a playlist on YouTube that includes every single webinar that we've had, and we'll be including more as we go through them. But thank you so much. Is there anything else we need to add before we wrap this up, Nabila?
Nothing. Feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn. Would love to know about you and your journey if you would like to share. And yeah, I would love to connect with you all. And thank you so much for taking the time to join this webinar. It really means a lot. I hope I didn't disappoint you. And thank you again for joining. And as I said earlier, if you think you if like you do not have the pro plan yet and you want to get there, you can always use the link. I recently got this link from Lovable through my engagements, and I think that's a beautiful thing. And as always, like in the Valentine's Day, they also gave some 50% discount. So the thing that they keep sharing, like offering thing to people, I think that is superb. You can always grab this. And if you have still not grabbed that discount yet from the Valentine's Day, you can use mine, like my link. And yes, one thing I would like to share. At one point when Lovable was like everywhere, every event I attend, they're like, okay, we have this free Lovable credits. At one point I was thinking, is the AI credit like is it that cheap? Because Lovable keeps sharing it. But then I learned from the other talks and everything, I learned like, no, it is not cheap. So I really value and that Lovable is like making it so like is being so generous and giving these discounts and making people use it. Like it is like you do not need the permission, you dream it and you make it, and Lovable is so much making it possible. You can use other tools, but do check it out. I think it's great, and at least for the exploratory phase, it is something to love. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for taking the time to put this all together, Nabila. Your webinar was absolutely incredible, as
Someone
always.
said, where is the link?
Oh,
Which link?
I think that's to your discount code.
Yeah, if you are like following me in LinkedIn post, on my recent post, you will see the link.
Okay, perfect. I sent your LinkedIn profile when you were talking about LinkedIn a second ago, so Anika, it should be right there. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank
Um,
you.
Nabila, once again, thank you, thank you, thank you so much for being a part of this
It's always
incredible
a pleasure. Thank
project
you.
and always being on board with us. It really does mean the world, and you're always such a joy. Thanks everyone again for being here. Have a fantastic rest of your day and take care. More soon.
Bye.